Hey guys, this episode idea was by Jayla Alexis. Thank you, Jayla.
Make sure you stick around to the very end because we've got a big announcement.
Until then, enjoy the episode.
A girl can feel, more masculine doesn't mean she's not a girl.
So then me, being born male, biologically male, would you say I'm 100% male?
Well, you made the transition.
Hi, my name is Kaitia Lamore, and I'm a writer, and I believe that God designed us with purpose, and that beautiful love story is in our DNA.
Hi, my name is Natalie. I'm actually in commercial real estate, but I'm very excited to share this discussion with you guys.
Hi guys, my name is Rebecca. I'm a student, and I'm looking forward to talking about gender and hearing what you guys think.
Hey, my name is Rory. My gender is non-binary, and I use they, them, theirs pronouns.
Hi, my name is Satine, and I am a trans woman. I work in film and television as a makeup artist.
Hi, my name is Marcus. I identify as a transgender male, and I'm really excited to have this discussion with you guys.
Girls and boys should be raised the same.
The reason why I feel like girls and boys should be raised the same, I'm saying just raising them to be upstanding citizens in society and things like that.
Exactly. Not to say that like gender doesn't exist, but to give young people an ability to navigate that themselves, to come into themselves.
I actually agree with a lot of your points as far as there are a lot of similarities between boys and girls growing up, and I believe that all children should be raised in a loving, supportive family, but I think that there does need to be balance and just some of the characteristics that men and women have, where it's like women usually are more nurturing. With boys, they want to grow up and like, what does it mean to be a man? And what does it mean to be a provider? What does it mean to lead your family? And those are the things that are traditional to me, where I feel like the man is the head of the household.
I grew up being a tomboy. Like, I am so connected to my masculine side and so much to my feminine side. I really feel 50-50.
And I feel like in our society now, when a girl is raised and she feels like a tomboy, acts like a tomboy, she's now encouraged to kind of think, maybe I should have been born as a guy. But for me, it's always been, oh, maybe she's just interested in things that guys typically like. Right. And that's fine, but you can still be a girl and be interested in that, and you can still embrace being a girl.
Yeah, piggyback off of what you're saying, as a little girl, I always only wanted to shop in the boys section. Of course, my family was completely against it. I grew up in a religious family. I'm actually evangelical Christian myself, but my family would use my tomboy statement to write it off and minimize the fact that no, I actually really don't like being a girl. Sometimes, like you said, there's actually genuine tomboys in the world. With me, that wasn't, it was way more than that.
And it can be very difficult for parents to make that distinction.
Oh, yeah.
Because when you're a young child, it's hard to express how you're feeling inside. And
especially like, as like a freaking 8-year-old, I had no idea what transgender was. I didn't know any of that.
But that's what's really important. I don't think as an 8-year-old you should know that label. You know what I mean? I don't think we should know labels, period.
There are only two genders.
Your DNA is going to be the same from when you're born and until you die. And it doesn't matter how you dress yourselves or what hormones you take. I mean, you're either going to be a male or a woman. You have those chromosomes in your body. There are certain things about yourself that are going to stay the same your whole life. And you have to accept those and embrace them, because if you don't embrace them, you're just going to be hating yourself.
I really wanted to be normal. Like that, there's nothing in life I've ever wanted more than to be normal. And
what is that though? Really?
Exactly. That's the problem. That is the problem I run into, is that it doesn't really exist. And every attempt that I've made to try and be more like one gender or the other hasn't really worked. So finally I just got to a place where I was like, well, people may say that there isn't anything in between, but I'm in between, you know? And I feel like the people who really know me and love me, they see that.
It's difficult to think that there could only be two. Like, how would that even be possible when there's, like, on a spectrum of, like, masculinity and femininity? Couldn't you lie anywhere?
Well, it's like the tomboy idea that a girl can feel and have these more masculine doesn't mean she's not a girl. There's a spectrum, but there's two definitive parts to the spectrum.
So then would me being born male, biologically male, would you say I'm 100% male?
Well, you made the transition, so you didn't feel like a male.
But you were physically born as a male.
But then would you say I'm 100% female?
I will be honest and say I feel I use the chromosome, but I would say you are under 100% a male.
I wouldn't say that.
That would just be my belief.
You're 100% what you're portraying to me.
And because I'm that,
who am I to decide that for you?
Wouldn't that mean that I am somewhere on this gender spectrum? Not
No,
necessarily
I don't.
one or the other, which is the binary?
Scientifically, you are one thing and you'll always be a male, scientifically. You can express yourself however you want to the world, and hopefully the world accepts you for who you want to be and who you are. But when it comes to the spectrum, I mean, there are not that many transgender people in this world when it comes down to it. In LA, there's a bigger population.
You just don't see us.
Exactly. No, 100%.
That's exactly what I was trying to say.
Exactly.
You ladies, all your lives, you don't even know how many hands you shook that was possibly a trans person. The reason why you don't see it is because those trans individuals don't want you to see it. In Middle America, they don't have the same like opportunities and great laws as California. So it's just like, well, I better lie low before like I get my ass beat somewhere.
I should be allowed to use the bathroom that matches my gender identity.
All in that.
I feel this is another one that I feel a little split about. I, on one hand, with all of my heart, have respect for, again, like I said before, whatever you feel you should live, you know? However, with that said, if I had a little girl, and if you're not completely transitioned,
you don't want them to be exposed to that
maybe
soon?
not yet, that is a right.
Have you thought about what that person might be going through? How scared they probably are that they're being judged as they go in? Before I transitioned, when I was still confused as to what I wanted to do and who I was, and it was really difficult, but I decided to use the women's restroom still because I did not feel safe in the men's restroom. And I knew that I would not be a problem. It takes a lot of courage that people don't understand. It really hurts your psyche.
I would say for safety, I do agree that you should be able to go where you feel comfortable. However, the line that I would draw is if we were one day to say all bathrooms should be just open for anybody.
To touch on that point, I've been at gyms where it's like a restroom and a locker room and people are changing there. It can be difficult because when the rules start to get so relaxed like that, where a guy that wanted to go in a woman's locker room that wasn't transgender, and then if anybody questioned him, he can just say, I feel like a woman.
That's a very valid
You know,
point.
and that's a concern for me.
It's interesting how we get so hung up on trans folks in bathrooms when it seems like the underlying fear might be that men are predators and that we are afraid of predatory men, either posing as trans women or just in general. Having gender-neutral restrooms, maybe if they're not all the restrooms, but some restrooms that are gender-neutral, would just be good for everybody's safety.
I agree with that too.
Gender should not be based on how you feel.
To come and tell me, you know, we're gonna be born and I'm just gonna decide what I'm gonna be, I'm sorry, that's a crack of shit to me. I believe that first, yeah, you're born, you're a woman or a man.
I believe that gender shouldn't be based on feelings because our feelings change a lot. Not everybody's does, I understand that, but a majority of people do as they grow up.
You said the word decide. I did not wait till 18 and decide, I'm gonna be a man today. Everything in my power, I did not actually want to be transgender. The decision that I made was being authentically me, to be happy. That's, to me, it was be happy or eventually commit suicide.
The thing about gender is you don't choose your gender. Your gender is something that develops over time. It's very fluid. There's no denying that. I mean, I was born male.
Right.
No denying. But, you know, my government papers all say female because that's who I am.
One thing that I want to know, were you raised in like a conservative household? Did any of you have the ability to actually sit down and talk to your parents and like ask any questions?
I didn't start transitioning until I was 32. I didn't come out to my dad until I was 33. And that, I come from a very conservative family, but I didn't want to lose my dad. When you think you might lose something that you love, it's really hard to go forward and make that decision.
I would support my child if they were trans.
Everyone that's born on this earth is special, and we're all lucky to be alive and be on this planet and have the opportunity to experience our lives and experience love. And I'm not going to be influencing them and saying, no, this is the right way of living, you have to live this way, but I'm gonna say you need to carefully consider, really think about it and think about the social implications as well and everything that you're gonna have to face if you go through that. Is it worth it for you?
I feel like support and acceptance are different things. So if it wasn't something that I agree with, would I love them? Would I be there for them? Would I support them? Would I have the conversations? Yes. Would I say I agree with you? No.
See, I grew up with the acceptance part, and that hurt kind of more for me. I felt like she was only accepting me because she gave birth to me.
Right.
But if she didn't give birth to me, it's like, no, you went, yeah. And I didn't like that feeling.
You know, if I had grown up in a place where I felt loved and accepted unconditionally, I think that I would have saved myself a lot of therapy and a lot of self-work. But, you know, maybe we don't know for certain yet. And the best we can do, I think, is keep trying.
I think that even with this discussion, it drives the point home about how important family is, how important love is, how important it is to really support. No matter how you feel or how you're raised, like this world can really break you down. So that's why for me, like family is so important. And I think it's a beautiful thing, and I think that we should be doing a better job in raising our children and loving on them.
Bring it in.
Hi, guys.
You ladies are amazing.
You guys
are awesome.
Thank you so much. It was so
Beautiful
special.
souls, beautiful souls.
Guys, thanks for watching another episode of Middle Ground. The reason we do this is to create a movement for human good. And we have a special announcement. We're starting our own clothing line. And guess what it's called? It's called Good Human.
And we want this just to be the physical embodiment of dialogue and empathy.
So get on board.
That's right. You can learn more about Good Human, which is the name of the brand, down below.
As always, guys, we can't thank you enough. Make sure to subscribe, follow us on Instagram, and we'll see you next time.